Hello friends, and welcome to the Gesundheit Kitchen. My name is Hans Rueffert, and I am a proud member of the Gastric Cancer Foundation's Board of Directors. And the Gesundheit Kitchen is sort of my little playground, and it's my opportunity to share with you some sort of tips and ideas about food and that connection between what we eat and how we feel. And me being a gastric cancer patient slash survivor, I have no stomach, very little esophagus, and who knows what else is left in there. But so eating can be a love-hate relationship. So I'm always trying to find ways to work in nutrition and kind of keep things exciting so that food is, food is medicine. And so we want it to be fresh and exciting and not something that is just a task or a chore. So I hope you get excited by food at least a fraction of how much I do. And today, with all of these little fun pumpkin things, you might guess that we are sort of heading into the holiday season. And the holidays can be a difficult time for folks that have had partial gastrectomy, total gastrectomy, because you're surrounded by all this great food, and so you're trying to sort of stay on the straight and narrow. So anytime that we can control the narrative, or we can control kind of what goes into our food, is always a good thing. So cranberries pop up in the later part of the year where we live, and they are so delicious, number one, but they have that great sort of vitamin C, that citric pop that you like, or that acidic pop. And you can buy canned cranberry sauce, or as I call it, Cranberry sauce, but it comes out in just a tube, and it's mainly just sugar. And so I like to do a healthier version. So this is just a 12-ounce bag of fresh or frozen cranberries. So traditionally, if you read the instructions on the bag, it would ask for sugar, lots of sugar. But instead of using sugar, I'm going to use some honey. So I've got a half a cup of honey, and this is always a good way to utilize kind of the dregs of whatever honey jar you have. And then I've got a half a cup of apple juice. Now, you can use water, you can use orange juice, you can use anything you want to. You can even use a little leftover champagne or Riesling if you're in that mood. But mainly you got to have some sort of a liquid to get this thing going. And it takes about 10 minutes start to finish to make this. I do want to add some orange zest. And this is an organic orange, and I'm only mentioning that because if it's a non-organic orange, there's usually wax on the skin. And so it's not a good idea to zest one of those really pretty oranges that you've seen in the grocery store that isn't organic. I wouldn't use the skin from that because it would be coated in a wax product. So I'm just getting this nice zest from the whole orange here. And then as I'm doing this, I'm also kind of being a little aggressive with the orange. I'm squeezing it tight because I want to utilize the juice and the pulp from this orange here as well. I just felt my first little guy popping on me here. So keep those stirring around. All right, so this is just a standard Valencia orange, and I'm just going to very quickly, and not too fancy because this is all going to cook down. I'm just going to give this a quick peel. See, all I'm doing is sliding this down. However you want to skin an orange, there's more than one way to skin an orange. But I want to get this pulp into there. See how that's coming along. I'm going to go ahead and turn this down just a bit. So let's let that go for a few minutes, and we'll come back to it in just a few. So we're looking at about, 8 to 10 minutes later. It's starting to thicken. I still have some berries that are intact, which again, I like. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. Enough of them have popped and become sort of homogeneous, or, they've kind of smushed up in there. And that adds to the body of the sauce. But I do like to have these little bursts of cranberry. So you eat with your eyes first, which sounds creepy, but no, the idea being that, the people's first impression of your entire meal really is what they see. And so I think you owe it to yourself and to your guests, if you're going to spend any time in the kitchen, pay attention to what it looks like. I think that first impression is not only, taste and smell, but it's also the visual side of that. So this is one of the many things that I love to do. Don't think of your time in the kitchen as being a chore. All of the time that I was in the hospital, and I wish I could get back to the kitchen. Now when I think I've got to peel the onions and I've got to dice it, whatever, It's not that I have to do it, it's that I get to do it. So sometimes people say, oh, I just want to reduce the amount of time that I have in the kitchen. Embrace the time that you have in the kitchen. Make it yours. Put on music that you like. You control the narrative. You know what's in this, and it's all good stuff. On that note, I'm going to enjoy some cranberry sauce, and I will also enjoy the next time we have together in our Gesundheit kitchen. And until then, take care of yourself, take care of others, and Gesundheit.